Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Hunter. Today I've got a really sweet game on Jungle Basin. Spawning at the bottom right position, we do have Tester. Tester, a very well-known player in the Starcraft Brood War scene. Dominant Protoss force in Starcraft 2, of course. He's won a number of tournaments. Very well-known, well-respected. His tag comes up as OGS, SSKS. The OGS is the Old Generations clan, which is, he's not a part of Old Generations anymore. Him and Cool, aka Fruit Dealer, they both quit OGS, and they are now playing on TSL, the SCV Life. That is another very exclusive and very strong Korean clan. Tester's opponent is going to be spawning up at the top left as the Blue Zerg. This gamer tag, I mean, I tried plugging it into Google Translate. Basically what I could come up with was Nikko. Really the best I can do. I guess my Korean is not quite up to snuff, but that is what I'm going to be referring to him for this game, Nikko. So it is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg on Jungle Basin. Two very strong Korean players, and it's on a map. I have not casted a game on Jungle Basin so far on my channel just yet, so I guess I'm going to introduce some of the characteristics of the map. I mean, of course you've got your main base right here, medium-sized ramp leading down to your natural expansion. You've also got destructible rocks, which do, cover up this relatively narrow choke point. Then, when it comes to taking a third, you basically have two options. Many Protoss and Terran players like to go for these bases in the center here. You've got one here, and then basically two pathways leading to your opponent's potential third base. Two Xel'Nagas as well, hiding behind the high grass, of course. For Zerg players, it's a little different. I've seen lots of Zerg players on the Korean scene choose to expand out here at the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock, or sometimes double expand at both of them because of, the relatively large distance by foot between the two bases. So just introducing some of the map characteristics. We're going to get into the commentary now. Putting on the production tab, we have a pretty standard spawning pool. I'm sure he's going to follow it up with a hatchery as soon as he can remove Tester's annoying probe. Something more interesting going up in Tester's base, we have a Forge fast expand, putting the Forge at the top of the ramp, putting the Nexus down here at the low ground. Very fast second base for Tester, going to try to get that economic advantage. Very late gas. After putting down the Forge and the Nexus, Tester did put down a gateway, and he put down a cannon as well. This cannon and along with the Forge and gateway going to be, excellent defense here at the front door. Good wall off. You can then put a Zealot right here. Makes it a complete wall off, and with the cannon, there's not going to be any worry of any early harassment, any early pressure, especially from Zerglings. Putting a pylon down here just behind the destructible rocks, very important. A lot of players, especially more like in the Platinum League maybe, would forget to, keep an eye on these destructible rocks. We even saw it in the GSL this morning. Boxer forgetting to keep an eye on his backdoor and blistering sands. Very important, very important. You don't want to lose those destructible rocks and not know about it. At long last, we do the hatchery that finally went down after the probe was eliminated. So, relatively fast expansion. But Nikko here has definitely thrown off his build order because it took him so much longer than he had hoped to get that first expansion down. Mining off of one gas while Tester's mining off of one gas as well. Very mineral heavy here for Tester. These Zerglings tried fruitlessly to put some pressure on these destructible rocks, but Zerglings just do so little damage against 3 armor destructible rocks, and with the cannon in place, they were pushed away. Chrono boosting out a lot of probes. We do have neck and neck, 29, 28, respectively for Tester and Nikko on the harvester count, that is. Tester's probe is now going to try to make its way all the way up with 5 shields left. Going to try to get some scouting off with that. Taking a look at Tester's vision, he doesn't know about the lair tech, so he's going to get some definite vital scouting information. And that's what this Overlord is here as well. I'd like to see the Overlord scoot up just a little bit closer. Try to keep a closer eye on the base. What does Tester see here? He has scouted the lair tech, but that probe does get taken out, and it appears that Tester, although he doesn't officially know about this hatchery, it was pretty obvious that Nikko was going for the hatchery, given the probe and drone exchange here earlier. Getting a third extractor up, poop and creep, continuing to inject. Got to keep up on that. do we have a Roach Warren on the way along with Zergling Speed as well. So it looks like Nikko may be trying to hit some kind of timing attack in the very near future. Just gonna have to wait and see. A couple more Overlords popping out, of course. And back at Tester's base, we do have the infantry upgrade level 1. Following up his initial Zealot and Stalker, we do have a Sentry on the way. Very common, gateway opener to get, Zealot, Stalker, then Sentry. Those 3 units combined, could quite handedly deal with, lots of pressure in the early game, of course. Now, in terms of production facilities, we do have 4 gateways and a robotics facility. So, definitely going to be getting some units out here, pumping them out real quick now that Warp Gate research is finished. We're going to see what he does with the robotics facility. I'd anticipate an early observer. That's just pretty standard amongst most Protoss players, especially given that map control is going to the Zerg player. We see Tester pretty confined to the bottom of the map here, whereas looking at the Zerg player's vision, 2 Zerglings just right here at the front door. Very important to keep an eye on the front door of your opponent. See when your opponent is moving out to attack. See when your opponent's workers are moving out to expand. At the same time, yeah, speaking of a worker heading out, that probe is going to be in check by those Zerglings there. But we do have some early pressure. It is looking like we've got 5 Roaches, got a handful of Speedlings moving in as well. Looks like Nikko is going to reinforce this and definitely put some pressure on early. Now, look here, we do have the Destructible Rocks going down. 4 range by the Roaches and 7 range from the Photon Cannon. Pre-patch, this cannon would have been able to shoot, I figure, at least 2 of these Roaches. So definitely the Roach range buff coming into play in this particular game. So as these Destructible Rocks fall, we're going to see how Tester reacts with 4 sentries here, and each of them, well, 3 of them have over 100 energy, so that's going to be at least 7 or so force fields. So he is going to be able to force field off if he doesn't want to engage just yet, and that's what I would expect him to do. Take note, we do have upgrade level 1 for the Protoss player complete, so that's a bit of an advantage there as well. No upgrades just yet for the Zerg player, and this is going to be a big exchange, I believe. Speedlings leading the way, just kind of pushing and prodding, putting down 4 Zealots as well. A bit of a side-blade wall there, very nice. But here we go, this is big pressure. Speedlings moving in, trying to get us around on the Zealots. These Roaches doing a lot of damage, but excellent force fields there. 3 force fields going down along with Guardian Shield. Guardian Shield reducing the Roach range damage for sure. Put a few too many force fields. He put down that extra one. I don't know if that one was necessary. Warping in more sentries as well. Very nice play. He's going to have lots of energy to put down more force fields. And there we go, 2 more and a 3rd one. Lots of Roaches going down here for sure as reinforcements continue to stream in for this Zerg player. He's going to continue to put pressure on at the back door here. Immortal's out as well. 3 more force fields go down. So I love this play. This is Force Field 101 when it comes to playing Protoss, guys. Very nice placement, splitting up the army, preventing the Roaches from attacking behind the force fields. Going to keep an eye on the Zerg army with this observer. And once again, especially with that upgrade, 55 damage to Roaches these Immortals are doing. And there we go, walling off with 2 force fields actually. So this back door can actually be effectively walled off with just 2 and a lot of Roach guts at the feet of this Protoss army here. Spire on the way as well, so it looks like we are going to see a follow-up with Mutalisk harassment, some sacrificial Zerglings there as well. Looks like we do have a retreat for sure. It doesn't look like Nikko wants to engage any longer. This is just so favored towards the Protoss player, getting those force fields down and taking out so many, such a big portion of that Zerg army. Now producing off of 2 robotics facilities. It appears that Tester has seen how heavy Nikko is going with Roaches and just pumping out Immortals at this point out of both of those robotics, and continuing putting on the 4-gate pressure. It looks like we are going to see Tester moving in for a push of his own. Going to put a pylon down here, bit of a proxy pylon, warping in units a little closer to home. And at the same time, we do have, I like the observer presence, keeping an eye on the Zerg army, seeing that hatchery go up as well. Very important. Now, we do have Mutalisk presence on the map, but look at this. On Tester's vision, the observer does see exactly what's going on. He sees all those Mutalisks But, I mean, Tester's not going to fall back. He's got, I mean, all these units moved all the way across the map. It looks like he is going to be able to take out this former gold base. These used to be gold minerals, not anymore. The Mutalisk harassment is going on. One photon cannon is not going to be enough, and Tester forced to retreat with all of his probes, forced to move them all down to his natural. This expansion did go down, no problem. Not much resistance there. Looks like these Mutalisks do not want to be flying over 3 cannons. It looks like he just like right-clicked on the minimap. Those Mutalisks took a lot of hits from those photon cannons. Lots of overlords going down. We do have a supply block, 138 over 102 for the Zerg player, and this looks like it's going to be a big push. Guardian Shield going down, force fields as well, but a lot of the roaches are in front of the force fields. They're getting a lot of damage off on these units for Tester. Immortals definitely pulling their weight, doing a lot of damage, and I like the placement even of these Stalkers at the back, going to protect from the retreating Mutalisks that have returned home, and they're going to try to defend, going to try to hold this off. But Guardian Shield's so effective against Mutalisks, really prevents that bouncing glaive from doing much at all. And so many Immortals here. They just are devastating the buildings, demolish roaches, and I think that is going to be it just about for Nikko. I'm not sure what else he's going to be able to do here. There's just such a presence in his base from Tester here. Just chatting away a little bit. I think that is going to be GG. So really cool game for sure. Really nice use of the force field over at the choke point, thwarting that early Zerg pressure, and then just hitting that perfect timing window. Tester was able to overrun the Zerg player. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed this game. Look forward to many more top-tier Korean replays. I'm going to be bringing more commentaries in the days to come. And this is Hunter Starcraft here saying, peace out.